Orpheus and Eurydice. The moment love looked back. There was once a musician named Orpheus, whose voice could make the rivers pause, the trees bend closer, and the wildest animals lie peacefully at his feet. But among all the hearts touched by his music, only one truly understood the man behind it. Her name was Eurydice. She was not merely the woman he loved. She was the breath between his melodies, the light within his music, and the reason every song he played felt alive. When they married, Orpheus believed even death would be afraid to enter their home. But death does not always knock. One beautiful morning, while Eurydice wandered through a meadow, a poisonous snake struck her heel. She fell among the flowers before Orpheus could reach her. By the time he held her in his arms, the warmth had already begun leaving her body. "Please," he whispered, "do not go where my music cannot follow." But Eurydice's eyes closed, and the world became silent. Orpheus played no joyful music after that day. His songs became cries so painful that even the gods turned their faces, unable to accept a life without her. He carried his lyre to the entrance of the underworld. He descended into the kingdom of the dead. Before him stood terrifying spirits, rivers of sorrow and souls who had forgotten the meaning of sunlight. Yet Orpheus continued. He played for the gatekeeper, and the gates opened. He played for the monster guarding the dead, and the beast lowered its heads. He played before Hades, ruler of the underworld, and Persephone, queen of the departed. His song was not about conquering death. It was about a man admitting that without the woman he loved, he no longer knew how to live. The underworld became still. Even the condemned stopped crying. Persephone wept. And for the first time, the heart of Hades was moved. "You may take Eurydice," Hades declared. "But there is one condition. She will walk behind you as you return to the world of the living. You must not turn around to see her until both of you have reached the sunlight. If you look back even once, she will belong to death forever." Orpheus agreed. He began the long journey upward. Behind him, he heard almost nothing. No footsteps, no breathing, no voice telling him that she was there. Still, he continued climbing. The darkness whispered into his mind, "What if the gods have deceived you? What if Eurydice is not behind you? What if you return to the light alone?" The entrance appeared ahead. Sunlight touched Orpheus's face. He stepped out of the darkness and into the living world. But Eurydice had not yet crossed the boundary. Unable to endure one more second of uncertainty, Orpheus turned. And there she was, beautiful, loving, reaching toward him. For one brief moment their eyes met. Then Eurydice began to disappear. Orpheus stretched out his hands, but his fingers passed through hers. He screamed her name as the darkness pulled her backward. "Why?" she whispered. He tried to explain that he had turned because he loved her, because he was afraid, because the silence behind him had become unbearable. But love without trust had broken the promise. Eurydice did not condemn him. She only looked at him with unbearable tenderness and said, "I was behind you all along." Then she vanished forever. Orpheus fell at the entrance of the underworld. He had crossed the kingdom of death, softened the heart of Hades, and accomplished what no living man had done. Yet he lost Eurydice, not because his love was too weak, but because his fear became stronger than his faith. That is the tragedy of Orpheus and Eurydice. Sometimes what we love is still walking behind us, even when we cannot hear it. Sometimes the darkness is not proof that we have been abandoned. Sometimes we destroy tomorrow because we cannot endure the silence of today. Orpheus looked back for only 1 second. But sometimes 1 second of doubt is enough to separate two hearts forever. And the cruelest words he carried for the rest of his life were not spoken by death, the gods, or the darkness. They were the final words of the woman he loved. "I was behind you all along."